Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast found in the attraction entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And if we sound really tired, I know we've been saying this a lot lately.
Like a month.
Well, 2 months if you count haunt season.
I was, but yeah.
I think it goes back.
Two,
probably closer to 2 months. It's for a reason. We did a thing. And we're going to get into the thing that we did in just a little bit here. But first thing is first. This is episode 365. This is an important milestone.
Oh.
This means on any non-leap year, you can start January 1st with episode 1 and listen to a new episode every day and never repeat an episode of Haunt Weekly.
That is true. We have a year's worth of these things now.
That's just the saddest thing of it. It means we've almost got 7 years worth too. That's the other thing that means. Jesus. But anyways, if you want to see the other 364 episodes, please take a moment. Follow us at all the places we exist, hauntweekly.com or hauntweekly on Twitter, hauntweekly on Facebook, and youtube.com/hauntweekly is the YouTube channel. It's a great way to access those other 364 episodes.
Uh-huh.
All right. You can also find us, of course, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts from. First things first, we'll do the question of the week. And then we'll slide into talking about all the insanity of the past week.
Yeah.
See, every week we do try to ask a question of the week. And last week's question of the week was a simple one. What was your favorite memory from the 2022 haunt season? And I got to be honest, a lot of great answers on this one. We had to cut. This was a hard list to cut down.
Yeah.
I had to pick some highlights here, and one I want to talk about for a second because it was our actor posting it.
Yeah. Also, you can read the full list over at Haunt Weekly on Facebook.
Yep. It's all there. We got a lot of, it's on the Wednesday. We post the question of the week and open it up to general conversation there. Yeah. So if you don't feel like listening to the full episode, you can get the question of the week there. All right. But we had a lot of great answers. First things first, Maximus Christian Bryan said a family came out to see him, took photos with him, and then showed him proof that they had been doing the exact same thing for like 5 years.
Yes.
With the photo history of this, basically this little girl's like growing up.
Yeah.
In the photos, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird how humans grow up like that.
I forgot to open my drink. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
But it was very, very cool.
It was very cute. It's nice to know that Pumpkin Smasher is someone's tradition.
And this is one of the reasons that I think you should have at least one or two front of house characters that do stay the same annually. I understand you need new ones from time to time and you need new people.
Yeah.
Because like what we talked about last week, sometimes that can cause people to think, oh, I've already got a photo with them. I don't need another photo. I don't need whatever. But still, it pays dividends to have someone consistent like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next up, Paul Lanner from Haunters Against Hate led the parade of 280 haunters for the Haunters Against Hate parade event at the movie park Movie Park, Germany.
Yes, very interesting.
Yeah,
and happy birthday, Paul.
Yes.
Farrell Lou Savage says, scaring someone so bad they locked their keys in the car. Okay, Farrell Lou, we gotta have a chat.
Yeah.
I know you were super proud of that, and I know you deserve to be.
Yeah.
But that really fucked up a lot of our night, actually. Well, not really. I mean, honestly, no. But
they were down there and telling people how great it was, even while they were waiting for somebody to come unlock their car.
Also, what the fuck, Papa Lock? It took like 2 hours.
Yeah. It was Halloween, so...
Yeah, but if it would have been like a kid locked in a fucking car.
Yeah.
That kid's dead.
Well,
you killed the kid, Papa Lock.
It sounded like that particular kid has done this many times, and Papa Lock may have like a punch card that's already full from how many times his kids locked the keys in the car.
I will admit it. I locked my keys in the car far more as a teen than I did ever have as an adult. I did it at least 3 times I could think of as a teen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically we had a car that wasn't going anywhere at the end of our driveway for a lot of the night.
Yeah.
All to the efforts of Fair Loose.
Yes. Drew Badger said getting to work alongside his youngest daughter on a weekend she was home from school.
That is so
Everybody
cool.
go, aww.
Aww.
Thank you.
And finally, the 7th Gate Haunted House in Calhoun, Georgia. By the way, we have the 7th Gate. We have the 13th Gate. Where's 1 through 6 and 8 through 12? And can we go 14 and beyond? How many gates are there?
And you've got Hell's Gate.
We got Hell's Gate, I guess. No, now I'm confused. But anyways, they had a blind child come through for the 2nd year in a row. And that is just awesome, too. Opening up haunting to groups that oftentimes don't get to experience or enjoy it.
Yeah.
I really think that's a great thing. And like I've been seeing a lot, not just of improving handicap accessibility, but in neurodivergent people.
Right.
People who maybe are easily overstimulated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Things like that. And opening up haunting to those types of individuals is important. Mm-hmm. Because, we need to be as diverse as we can be in order to survive and thrive as a business. And as an industry. So I think that's wonderful, from a humanitarian standpoint, but also from a business standpoint, too. I think it's great.
Yeah. All
right, this week's question of the week. I think we've actually asked this one before, but it's a good one. And I'm happy to have it again, because it's been a while. Mm-hmm. What skills have you learned in haunting that have helped you in your quote-unquote regular life? Let us know. HauntWeekly.com, HauntWeekly on Twitter, HauntWeekly on Facebook, and YouTube.com/HauntWeekly. Leave a comment. Like I said, every Wednesday on the Facebook page, we post the question there. A great conversation usually follows. So please feel free. Basically, so the next thing is we wanted to talk about work we've done on our haunt.
Yeah.
Very
little.
Surprisingly little.
But since I had an extra day off, we did take down a large portion of the yard
About
display.
80% of it, honestly. Yeah. The skeleton haunted house is still up. And a couple of the more difficult to extricate skeletons are still in.
So the monstrosity.
The monstrosity is still in, as is the horse, because those need to be moved very carefully. And they're not something either of us can move by ourselves. And it needs two sets of hands, realistically. Yeah. And we just haven't both been able to be out there at the same time.
Right. And we were battling a small cold at the beginning of the week.
Yeah, we've been a little bit ill. And it's been all hands on deck for the yarn store.
Exactly.
Which that, in turn, is the thing we did this week.
Yeah. We hosted a grand opening. Yeah.
We, along with Elli, opened a yarn store. It's called Yarnola. Uh-huh. You can check it out. It's yarnola.com, YARNOLA.com if you want to check it out. Yep. Don't know what the overlap between the audiences here is, but we might be getting into that in a minute.
There is some.
Yeah, there
because
is some.
I know some haunters that either crochet or knit.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been a project that's years in the making. Years and years and years.
Yeah. And also wigs out of yarn are fun.
Yeah. Yeah, this yarn store, though, has been a project years on making. Elli's been talking about it for as long as we've known her.
Yeah.
So over 8 years. But it really kind of started rolling about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes.
But then it had to be put on hold because of the pandemic.
Exactly.
The ongoing global bastard.
Yes, it went from, I'm going to have a place so that everybody can meet together and hang out
be together
and
in super tight quarters and knit and get our spit all over each other. And
yeah.
Oh shit, maybe now's not the time to be looking at opening an in-person store.
Exactly. So it was put on hold.
Yeah, we put it on hold, but then it kicked into high gear again, I would say January or so, right at the turn of the new year.
Yeah. Yeah, because whenever we took our vacation trip in the summer, one of the things we did was research on yarn stores.
Yeah.
Because we hit every one of them.
Yeah, we began looking for a place in earnest early in the year and then resumed it in summer.
Yes.
And one of the things, like someone asked, is, well, why did Elli open a yarn store in November knowing that y'all run the haunted house and it was going to be... She didn't choose the date.
No.
There's no way she chose it. She'd been working on it for months. She found the space, I think September.
Yeah. Yeah, mid-September we found the space. They gave us 1 month of move-in time before we had to start paying the actual rent. So.
And I'm going to say, I know I've said this before, but it's worth saying again. Dealing with retail real estate sucks.
Yeah.
It just abjectly sucks. Like we bought a house, but when you buy a house, people have like obligations. People have rules they have to follow.
Right.
Listings are accurate. Everything is honest. Is relatively above the board. With retail, people will just fucking up and lie to you.
Yeah.
It is bad. So we had a lot of places we at least fell in like with and just had the rug pulled out from underneath us. So there's a lot of stories there that I could go into another time. But she did find the space in September, and she targeted November as a soft opening, and credit to her. She said November. I thought that was ambitious. I thought December was a more realistic date.
Yeah.
But no, she actually soft opened on November 11th. Veterans Day. And then fully opened on Saturday, the 26th.
Which is Small Business Saturday.
Yeah, and it kind of worked out perfectly.
It did.
She pulled it off. And the thing is, when she got the space, you have to understand, we had nothing for the store other than a few knickknacks we thought would be fun to display in there. Yeah. We didn't have any display cabinets or things. We didn't have any stock. No stock at all. Right. We had nothing. And so we literally spent the entire month of September and much of October and now all of November getting everything, getting it in place, and getting it open.
Yeah. And, it's a lot of work. And, there were a couple of walls that needed to be painted and all of the stuff needed to be... It's just everything. It's, because it's from walls to display to inventorying to taking photos to you building a website to everything.
There are a million things involved, but luckily for us, we have a lot of experience in this type of thing. Yeah. Because running the haunted house actually, in a lot of ways, did some good work to prepare us for this. Because the reality is there are a lot of similarities between opening a small yarn store and opening a modest home haunted house. So yeah, there are a few differences as well, though, worth noting. So what we're going to talk about this week, because it's all that's on our brain, is the yarn store. But we're going to talk about it and talk about ways in which it was similar to haunting and our haunting experience helped us. And then we're going to intersperse it with ways that it's different. Yes. And I just realized if we alternate, one of us will be taking similar, one will be taking different.
So we'll just do one batch together. Or we'll just talk over each other. Who knows? Too.
Well, the first one, I think, was the one that I immediately recognized as, oh yeah, I'm glad I'm comfortable in this element. Yeah. Because if I had not been prepared for this, I'd have been fucked. And that is the energy before opening.
Yes. Because it is that frantic, chaotic, oh my gosh, everything's going to fall apart at the last minute, to, if it does, we're still doing it. like we've done as much as we can. Yeah. This is the best shot we can get right now.
Yeah. It's a crazy... In fact, it was so funny because, like, on Friday, when we were working, I kept looking around thinking to myself, are we opening up the haunt tomorrow? Because it really feels like a day or two before the opening of the haunt.
It did.
It really feels like that exact energy. But no, we're not opening the haunt. We're doing a yarn store. And it's I'm glad we knew what to expect. Because basically it's the chaos of taking care of 8 million small things. Like, no one item on that list is big. Right. Or problematic or a deal block or anything. They just got to be done. And basically, the hardest thing to do is to keep track of them. Yeah. And so, yeah. Another thing that's I found kind of amusing is how similar a lot of the tasks are. Because, like, before we open the haunt, so much sweeping happens. Yes. What happened before we opened the yarn store? So much sweeping. Yeah. And that's with our robot vacuum sweepy moppy dude. Yeah.
Yeah, our little dude.
We call him Little Dude. He's a little robot vacuum that patrols the store.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but we knew what to expect. We knew what to deal with the energy, and yeah, we knew how it was going to feel, and we also had a lot of practical experience in dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
We knew how to share to-do lists.
Yeah.
To coordinate with each other. Now it was a little bit more difficult here. We had 3 people to really communicate with.
Right.
But we did the coordination. We both, and basically, we were ready for the emotional and physical toll. I mean, the honest truth is, we had been through it less than a month prior.
Yeah, exactly. Now, and now it feels like, it's time for the break.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. However,
but it's not, because
that's how this is different, because the store doesn't end. It doesn't close after 3 nights. At least we hope not. That's not the point of it.
Yeah. Our home haunt ends in 3 nights, and most, even major attractions, have seasons that are around 16 to 20 nights.
Yeah.
That changes the way you think about things.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible when you open to see the end.
Yeah.
You know the end. Yeah.
You know that there is an end, that there is a break coming, that all your work is going to be, appreciated, and then you're going to be grateful for a day or 2 of rest.
Yeah. You're going to get some time off. And it also means that, like, your temporary solutions.
Yeah.
Like, we had some temporary solutions for communication this year. Fine. It got us through 3 nights.
Yeah.
But if we were doing this perpetually, and obviously this doesn't apply to year-round haunts, obviously, but if we were doing this perpetually, we would need to fix those and apply more permanent solutions, because the temporary solutions aren't going to work. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing here is we're having to shift our thinking from, okay, let's just get through these couple of nights to, oh, wait, no, we need solutions that can work for the next year or 2 years or 3 years. Mm-hmm. We don't need a 3-night answer. We need a year answer or more.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is a very different mindset. And I have found myself over and over and over again falling into the trap of, oh, yeah, we just got to get through opening, and the next opening weekend it'll be fine, it'll be over. Oh, no, we opened the damn store again on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're not.
No, we've got 3 days till it's open again.
Yeah.
So anything that we put up temporary, we need to figure out what we're doing with it.
Yeah.
Before we open again.
Yeah, we got a lot on that list too.
Yeah.
So yeah. But go ahead.
And before we go too much deeper into this, I am going to say right now that it was a huge success.
Oh yeah. We didn't actually cover that, did we?
We didn't. We haven't talked about
how it went.
How great it was. Because there were a lot of people, and everyone was positive in the store.
Lots of sales were made. In fact, there's some significant holes in the store now because...
Yeah, there were some sellouts of some of the... there are many things that are sold out now. Let me put it that way. Let me rephrase.
And not like many, but noticeable amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily, we got an extra shipment of yarn in a few days early. So we already have it in the store. Mm-hmm. And all we have to do is inventory and display. But one of those temporary things we learned was our POS system, the way we'd organized it, sucked.
Yeah.
We implemented a temporary solution, but no, we've got to find a permanent one for that. We've got to get out of the mindset of, oh yeah, we just get through these 2 nights and it's over. Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
No, we got to find that permanent solution.
Exactly. So we're looking at the possibility of getting barcodes and a barcode reader.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking to making some pretty significant changes. Why? Because, because we quickly came up with some temporary solutions that could work, even like more medium term.
No.
But then realized, no, that's not how we need to think about this. We need to think about, like, this store is going to be here in 2025, and the systems we implement now are still going to be around.
Exactly.
You don't have that with a haunt as much.
No, not knockdown ones, especially.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Well, one of my favorite things that was similar.
Yes.
Thrifting.
Yes.
And being cheap bastards in general.
Yes. Like, I grew up going to garage sales, like, every Saturday morning. Me and my mom would get up early, we would go to garage sales, we would hit the thrift stores, And
your mom was the cunt that would haggle it.
Well, yeah. It was expected.
I know it is expected to a degree.
Not in stores.
It's already a quarter. Jesus Christ, lady.
No,
Anyway, moving on.
So yeah, so this is like nostalgia for me is doing this kind of shopping.
Yeah. But yeah, because everything, with only a couple of exceptions in the store, was either secondhand, refurbished, or otherwise reused in some way.
Yeah.
The display cabinet, we got the big glass display cabinet, came from a store called the Green Project, where they recycle things from stores, houses, etc.
Yeah.
Great place to get like doorknobs and fittings.
Yes, it was $45
for a giant 6-foot display cabinet.
Yeah.
All with all the glass. No shelving brackets.
No, that was a pain in the butt.
Yeah, because...
Or for you, a pain in the hand.
Yeah. Well, and it's bad because they had the old style slot where the slots were not nearly as big as the ones apparently they have today. Like, I've never used slotted shelving before in my life, so I got a lot of lessons about slotted shelving. And basically, we had to file down some shelving brackets to fit in. But yeah, the display cabinet came from the Green Project. Secondhand, we refurbished it some. The gondolas and large displays were from another store that closed. You got another glass display case from a former coworker who just wanted to get rid of the damn thing.
Yeah, it was taking up space in his storage room.
Yeah. We have a couch in the meeting room that came from Goodwill. And it actually looks really cool. It sucks to sit on in shorts.
Yeah.
But it looks badass. And, so much of the stuff was refurbished or new. We only actually...
And part of that was on purpose.
Yeah.
Because the part of Elli's
ethos
here is to reuse and renew and
try to be environmentally
as possible.
Environmentally better is the way to kind of think about it. Not good, because I don't know if it can be good, but better. Try to be cognizant of what we're doing. And so only two things were actually new. And one was the big, huge shelving unit in the main room. We had to buy new. Yeah. But even that, we it looks like one giant unit, and it is. But when we bought it, it was actually 6 different units, 6 of the same units that we Frankenstein together. Yeah. So it's actually really cool how that got built. And the other thing is the nook and the bench and table in the meeting room. And that was because we looked and looked and looked for anything secondhand that would fit in that space. Did not find anything. No. And this was a very affordable price on this. And we just went in and snagged it. It was a bear to build. Yeah. Not intellectually. It wasn't like difficult, but you needed 2 people. Yeah. It's just, the pieces are like so far apart that it's hard to hold it by yourself while you're putting a side on. Once you get 2 sides on, it goes better. But looking through this and looking at how much a lot of this stuff costs, we save thousands and thousands of dollars this way. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that sofa alone, you got a Goodwill for like what, $25 or something? Yeah. Yeah, I think it was 30. Oh, 30, okay. Yeah. But still, that sofa probably would be hundreds of dollars. It was $125 online new because I looked it up. Oh, okay. That's actually cheaper than I expected it to be new. That was the cheapest that I could find it, and it wasn't that exact one, but that was the cheapest futon-style mini sofa that I could find. Yeah, but we saved thousands of dollars because display cases and shelves and things like that are not cheap. No. So yeah, we basically thrifted like madmen and cut corners like madmen, and it looks great. You going through the store, you will not think to yourself, "Oh, this looks like they bought all cheap shit." I mean, like one of the things we had to do was with the display case. Yes. It had a rough part at the bottom. Right. Not enough to impact the structure. It just looked a little rough. Right. So what we did, we got a finishing board, a 6-foot finishing board. Yeah. Stained it black, which is the colors of the store. Ebony. Pink and black, ebony, pink and black. And then just simply screwed it to the front. Yep. Exactly. It's got 1 screw in it in the middle, which is not to haunt standards, but it is holding, and it's not a thing that's getting kicked or anything, it doesn't have to take hits. Yeah, I mean, it worked out really, really well, and it looks good. The display case looks really good.
Yeah.
May want to get some like strip lights in it or something, but
yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Because it's dark and a little dark in there, but other than that, I'm sold. It's done. It's great. But the difference though is there were a lot of areas we couldn't cut corners.
Right.
The worst, the big one, and the big frustration to boot.
Yeah, no kidding.
Was the signage, the outside signs. There's 2 outside signs for supposed to be.
Yeah.
2 outside signs for the store. One is on the pylon out by the road. That one is currently changed. And then there is the banner that's supposed to be in front of the store.
Right.
There's
like it's probably 2 foot tall.
Yeah, by about 8 feet wide, I think.
Yeah, so a 2x8 banner that, and we have 2 of these that are in front of the store that kind of hang down from the second story because the building's 2 stories. We're on the first floor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a strip mall with some office space atop us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the signage was frustrating because the landlord, as great as the landlord is, I do not want like a witch hunt against the landlord.
No,
they are great.
Yeah.
They are fucking wonderful, and this was the only hiccup we've had with them, and it's considering how landlords be these days.
Yeah.
That's a deal I'm gonna take. But the issue was they had a company, the only one company was allowed to replace the signs.
Yeah.
And that company left us on fucking red.
Yeah. Like the last contact we had from them was October 13th.
Yeah.
And so we started calling every day the week before the 11th trying to get somebody to give us an answer. And they wouldn't even give us a quote. No.
No, and the hilarious part of it all is I finally break down and start getting quotes from other companies just so I can take them to the landlord and say, look, I've got quotes in hand. We got a local company. They gave us a fair quote. I said, look, I've got a quote from these guys. Can we use them? Your guys left us on red for a month. Yeah. We haven't heard from them. And they agreed. Once they realized how serious shit, I think that's one of the problems. I don't think they realized how bad things had gotten with the sign company. Because like I said, they left us in the lurch for a long time. Yeah. We accept the quotes and the deposit, 50% deposit, send it off. Immediately as the deposit is leaving the account. Yeah. We get a call from the other sign people. Hey, I lost my phone and... Yeah. You did not lose your phone for a fucking month.
Even if you did, you knew and had the email with the dimensions and stuff for the signs we needed. Yeah. Like, you had the email.
You had all the information. You even had the SVG files for printing the sign.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you had the images and everything. Like, I don't care if you lost your phone. You still had an email.
Yeah. It was so frustrating. And like, I'm sorry, dude. We've already sent the money off. We got approval to use another company. They're coming out to do the signs. And so, but it ended up being, because of not being able to take any shortcuts here, it was very costly.
Yeah, it was costly. And, people still are having trouble finding us in the strip mall because we don't have the signs.
And I don't blame them. I mean, we did yarn bomb one of the poles in front of us. Yeah. That helped a lot. Yeah. You just look for the big pink thing.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, like, those signs literally were more expensive than all of the display stuff inside the store to put together. Yeah. And that's the difference between we were able to thrift and secondhand and cut corners and do things ourselves versus we have to go with this specific company and we have to take this specific route. Yeah. Big difference there. The other thing we couldn't cheap out on was the location itself. Yeah. Location matters. We got a great location at a great price. But it was, I mean, okay, it's not like super expensive, especially for the location and the price. It is not. But it cost a fair amount of money.
Yeah, you can't really negotiate that. So.
No. So, yeah, learning how to cheap out, learning ways to cut corners and thrift and all that saved us thousands of dollars. But there were just some places we absolutely could not do that, and it was frustrating. But, hey, that's life.
Yep. Oh, I forgot about the other. We also painted all of the display cases from the other store.
Oh,
The
yeah.
display shelving units
Mm-hmm.
and gondolas. So.
Oh, yeah, the poles in particular, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot about that,
Because
too.
they were gray, and now they're black.
Yeah, they were not even, like, good gray.
No,
they
it
were
looked like dirty water.
They were like 80s gray.
Yeah.
If you're alive in the 80s, you know what I'm talking about. That gray that trends toward brown.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks... Yeah. It looks... Well, I mean, I think Craig Ferguson would say, it looks damp. It looks like the color of damp.
Yeah.
All right. Well, another way it was similar, and surprisingly similar, was the marketing and promotion. We took basically a very similar approach to marketing that we did with the haunt. Targeted social media promotion, in particular for us on Facebook. It worked out great.
Yeah. Yeah, there were so many interactions. I was always interested to click on the little find out more about how your stuff's doing. So I click on that, and it's like thousands of interactions. It's like, how?
Yeah, it is. It was very interesting how well this worked. I mean, basically created an event for the grand opening, started promoting it about 8 days to a week before, and it just took off.
Yeah,
and
that's one of the things that we've stressed with the haunt is you need events for the night you're open.
Yeah.
And this is why.
Especially any special nights are open.
Yeah.
Especially any special... Jesus Christ, Jonathan. It's like a mouthful of socket wrench as it comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. But no. Yeah, it does help us that the yarn store audience does skew a little more older, making Facebook a natural choice.
Yeah.
And a very powerful tool. Even though I think yarn and fiber arts is a natural Instagram lean. And we are probably going to do more promotion, both organic and paid on Instagram too. Facebook was the logical place to start, and apparently I was very right.
Yeah.
But yeah, social media worked as a powerful tool, and luckily, we have a lot of experience with these advertising methods because of the haunt, and we were able to apply them. I was very happy about that.
Yeah, me too.
But there was a difference.
Yes.
The audience was so different. You hit on it kind of well when you said so many interactions.
Yeah.
Like, how are we getting thousands of interactions? Because this is a very interactive audience.
It is.
A lot of engagement.
Very dedicated group, too. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because the audience, okay, you might think, well, the demographics are going to be different from people going to a haunt. You might not know the demographics of yarn people that well. And I've learned a lot about those demographics. Yes, we do see our share of the quintessential little old ladies who knit and crochet.
Yeah.
We've definitely seen them. But I would say well north of 60% have been younger than us.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that's an exaggeration.
And very diverse.
Yeah, we've got a lot. Yeah, very diverse across socioeconomic backgrounds, across racial lines, LGBTQ plus lines, everywhere. It's very, very young. Apparently, these are hobbies well loved by young people.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And I think they're seen as sustainable hobbies, and that's something that I've noticed that younger generations are really taking an interest in.
Well, and it's also a hobby that in no way involves a screen, really.
Yeah.
And I know, like, one of the reasons I took up lockpicking was it gets me off the phone, gets me off the laptop. It's something I get to be in the moment on that one thing. Yeah. Knitting and crocheting does something very similar in that regard.
Yeah, it does. And, it creates small social groups. I mean, it really does. There were several knitting groups, knitting and crocheting groups around the area that came. And what we learned is that not only is Elli the only dedicated yarn store in New Orleans, she's the only one in about an hour's drive.
Yeah.
Any direction.
Yeah, I think Baton Rouge may legit be the closest.
Yeah, because there was one... well, I won't go into all the geography because y'all are from here, and I understand that. But yeah, just basically, there were 3 in the last year that closed within an hour from our current location.
Well, and like some of them we never even heard of until this.
Yeah.
Like the one in Lacombe?
Exactly.
I had not even heard of that one.
Exactly.
And I had researched this pretty thoroughly, I thought.
Yeah, there was one in Lacombe, one in Diamond Head, and so I guess we are talking about geography. But
Well, we're just naming town names. I don't even know where the fuck they are geographically.
Well, Diamond Head's in Mississippi.
Fair
People
enough.
were going all the way to Mississippi for a yarn store.
Yeah, and even though there is a quote-unquote yarn store, it's not a dedicated yarn store. We are the only dedicated yarn store.
Yeah.
But there is a place called the Quarter Stitch in the French Quarter. There's also another one.
Needle Arts.
Needle Arts, thank you. I can remember the name. But they're both needlepoint stores that also carry some yarn.
Yeah.
They're not yarn forward.
Right. And most of the yarn they carry is either super duper expensive or can be used in needlepoint.
Yeah. Yeah, so we wanted to be focused on yarn. The main thing with the yarn store is everything we sell is either yarn or stuff that touches and works with yarn.
Yeah.
Directly. And so that's really helped us keep our focus on this. But yeah, this audience, so getting back at it, was very engaging. And most of the time that was incredibly positive.
Yeah.
They would share the posts. They would share the event. They would tag their friends that thought they might be interested. They would pass it around. And basically, like, I have not looked at the final statistics. I've been looking along. But it was so crazy because you had the paid traffic we had, and then you had this giant bump in organic from when they were sharing and putting it out on their own feeds.
Yeah.
We have never seen anything like that with the Haunt.
No. Yeah, it was crazy insane.
Yeah. It worked incredibly well. We had a great time with it. There were some snarky people.
Yeah.
There were a few people that, because we mentioned we're the New Orleans only dedicated yarn store, a statement that I believe 100% is true. And they were like, well, but they clearly just don't know about the quarter stitch. Maybe they don't go to the French Quarter in the West Bank. Hey, no, we don't.
Neither do a lot of other New
But then
Orleanians.
again, neither does anybody on the East Bank not already in the French Quarter.
Yeah.
Is the dirty secret, because the French Quarter is a big overhead. And it's you're going into
For locals.
For locals, yeah.
Like, absolutely do the French Quarter if you...
Oh, yeah. If you're a tourist, go hit them
If you're a
up.
tourist or if you're playing tourist.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, and every once in a while, we'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll hop on the ferry, walk across, get a rum drink at the Pirates Alley Cafe, and then hit some shops and hit some restaurants, get some food, get some drink, and stumble our ass back to the ferry and come home.
Yep, exactly.
We've done that many a time.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun, but that's just it, because there's no parking in the French Quarter. It's a headache to get into. And it's a headache for locals to access, I should say. But yeah, we had a ton of engagement. This engagement was through the roof for anything I've seen on anything I've done in social media. This is more than haunting. This is more than my day job. This is more than anything I've ever participated in as far as a promotion on Facebook in terms of engagement and interactivity.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It really was.
All right. Another similar, though.
Yes.
Graphic design work. Oh, sorry, go ahead. You lead on this one.
No,
You helped
go
as
ahead.
much of this as I did.
Go ahead.
Okay, but no, graphic design work. One of the things that most people don't realize is you need to design a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Facebook posts, Instagram posts, flyers, business cards, pricing placards, signs for the store, both inside and outside. Because even though we're paying someone else to put them up, I had to design them.
Yep.
Promos for the dyers that we carry, all this other stuff. And luckily, Canva saved our bacon.
Yeah, we've talked about the glories of Canva previously. We're going to continue that.
Yeah, because if you were not using it and you were handling marketing or promotion for your haunt, you are hurting yourself. Now I will say Adobe has an alternative now. Adobe has a competitor.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about it, but I have seen it and it looks cool.
There is that. And, there's also, if you are old school designer, like I learned on Adobe and design, that kind of thing, then Canva does lack some of the usability. There are some things you can't do as easily or as well.
Yeah.
But for basic stuff, go with Canva.
Yeah, what it lacks in specific features or tools, it makes up for in automation.
Exactly.
Because if you want to take that Facebook post and resize it to go on Instagram and then Twitter, you can. It's automatic. You don't have to design 3 different things.
Exactly.
If you want to turn, like, and this is one of the things I actually did. If you want to turn that 4x6 pricing card into a full sheet flyer for your yarn dyers, you can do that.
Yeah.
It makes it very easy to do these things, and that's what I love about it, is that and also the fact it comes with so many templates that look good. You have to look at them like a designer. You can't just go, well, that's you got to look at it and go, okay, that'll work, but I need to change all the colors. Or that'll work, but I need to do some rearranging.
Yeah.
You can't just go, no, that's not ready out of the box.
Yeah.
You got to look at it like a designer. But yeah, Canva was is a huge boon, and this is an area where both my day job and the haunt really got me a lot of good practice in Canva, and I was just ready to rock, and I'm still doing Canva stuff. Even did 2 posts a day with Canva.
All right.
Yeah, and this is work that gets overlooked so easy for haunts. Like we love, I mean, everybody loves talking about putting up panels, building rooms, decorating, detailing. No one wants to talk about the poor son of a bitch that has to sit behind a computer and design your flyers to get them printed.
Yeah.
And make sure the flyers look like the website and look like a Facebook post and da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, speaking of that, we're going to be having to do a lot of that because one of the things that we did do for the haunt that we forgot to mention is you actually did buy a new mask.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah, it's not here yet.
I completely forgot that. We took advantage of Black Friday. Bernie will be getting a new look, most likely.
Yep, so we will be doing all of this promotion stuff again with all new
images
pictures.
Of Bernie, yeah. Because and we talked about this, I think, a week or two ago.
Yeah.
But basically, the very first Bernie mask was the $5 witch mask from Walmart.
Yeah.
And then we upgraded to the DOA and the DOA Lite, which is going from a $5 mask to a $60 mask, $60 to $80 mask. And it worked well, but it just doesn't look good. It's not fitting my face as well as it once did. And it's just frustrating for me to use because it's not fitted to me correctly. And so now we have paid the money and ordered a high-quality silicone mask from one of the major providers. Don't want to put them on blast or give them love yet. We'll see what the mask is, and we'll talk more about the company later. But, we took advantage of a Black Friday sale, got $100 off. Should be here soon. Yeah. It'll be interesting. So, yeah, good point. I completely forgot about the fact because it didn't feel like we did anything. We just literally made a purchase. But, Yeah,
but I mean, it's gonna include all of this kind of stuff since
you're
we're
right.
talking about it.
Yeah. A difference, though.
Yeah.
Building things.
Yeah.
We very much are from the school of, we'll do it. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
When we build things in the haunt, we just kind of ad-lib it a lot of the time. And then proof of this is seen in haunts everywhere, because every haunt builds their panels a slightly different way. I remember when we were helping Eddie with his haunt, I kept looking at his panels going, how the fuck do you work with these?
I know, right?
Because his made no goddamn sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, great
but
haunt.
they worked for him.
But they worked for him, so I can't criticize.
Yeah, exactly.
They worked and it built a stable structural haunt. I mean, fucking magic and wishes of small children. But anyways, outside of ADA and fire code issues, you get a lot of flexibility on how you build things. With this, not so much.
No. Yeah, because there's usually just one way to build things correctly.
Yeah. One way to build that display cabinet, one way to build a shelving unit, one way to apply a decal.
Yeah.
Basically, the directions are not always there, especially when you're thrifting and go on the road. Because a good example of the problem we had is we bought a shit ton of display shelving units and cabinets and things from a store. And someone we know who had a store closed down, but she kept all the stuff in her garage, and we just bought it.
Yeah.
We watched how it was put together. We took it apart. We put it in the cars. We got it to the store. And then we completely forgot every fucking thing we learned about how they were together.
Over the 2 weeks between getting the stuff, going through haunt season, and then getting the store open.
Yeah. And in our defense, yes, exactly. We may have run a haunt in those 2 weeks.
Exactly.
May or may not have run a haunt in those 2 weeks. So yeah, but the directions are not always there, and if they are there, they're not always clear. Looking at you, makers of that nook.
Yeah. Yeah.
IKEA is crying, thinking about your directions.
Yeah.
Do you want to make IKEA cry? That's what you're doing. So, yeah, but we had to force ourselves to get out of the improv mentality. Because we're the weirdos that will go, oh, yeah, just put an angle piece there, screw it together, it's great.
Yeah.
And you know what? Usually we're right.
Yeah.
But it's very structural and very sturdy. But you cannot think like that when doing this. You have one correct way, do it. And you got to do it that way. And if you don't know what that correct way is, you better get a Googling, buddy.
Yeah.
So I'm not comfortable building like that.
Right. And finally, is a similar thing is planning paths around the stores and trying to figure out where customers think they should go.
I did not realize until we were actually doing this how much planning the pathways in the store was similar to the way we plan the path in the haunt.
Yeah.
To try to make it organic, to try to maximize contact people have with stuff. Both in the haunt and the store. You want people to have a good long walkthrough that lets them see and access a lot of things. Same thing in the store. And like you said, trying to predict where people go. Good fucking luck with that one.
Yeah, little girl, get off that glass cabinet.
Oh, you really shot a little girl on opening day.
Yeah. Well, because the glass cabinet that's donated is not secured to the wall. There is no way to do it.
Yeah.
We have found
it just rests on admittedly, a very beefy stand.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not meant to be
climbed on.
It's not meant to be, affixed to a wall. It's meant to be on a stand and looked at.
Yes.
It is perfectly safe until you start climbing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyways, we had one kid in the store opening day, and she was a terror.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it was really kind of interesting because one of the other things I realized is we were trying to keep it ADA. We've gotten really good at eyeballing 36 inches.
Yeah.
Like, really. Like, I can't estimate distances visually to save my ass. I'm lucky I bring my own ruler everywhere I go. Being exactly 6 feet tall is very handy sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm a ruler. That's what Lord was talking about. We're going to be rulers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But anyways, but we can look and go, not 36. That's 36. And then we check it, and we're always right.
Yeah. Well, and I've got rulers on my feet because my feet are about 1 foot long.
Lana.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Like, almost exactly.
But yeah, then comes the frustration side of that. Which is, we still were not able to change the main layout of the building.
Right. Because it's not our building. We can't just knock down walls.
Well, apparently the people that put them up did it without permission.
I know.
And I have no idea how the fuck they got away with that.
Considering that nobody has been over to check and see what we're doing to the building, I think that it's just a hands-off kind of, they're never going to know what we do.
And that's fine. That's actually fine as long as they're good landlords in every other way. But yeah, because the unit we're in previously, and I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, was a quack medical clinic. They did every type of medical procedure you could do with just an RN and no heavy licensing.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even know if they had RNs.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know either, but basically, I mean, we've gotten, legitimately, we've gotten mail for 5 different quote-unquote companies that were supposedly working the unit, all in bullshit medical things. I think the only maybe non-bullshit was apparently they did Botox.
Yeah.
They did a lot of quote-unquote medical cosmetic.
Uh-huh.
I fucking hate that term because that makes not a goddamn lick of sense. Yeah. But anywho, so basically what they did though is they took what was a pretty open space, I believe, and made it into 4 waiting rooms and a waiting 4 exam rooms.
Yeah.
And a waiting area. Probably put the store in the waiting area. That's the largest room by far. We've got the library in one of the exam rooms, and that's where the stock overflow is going to go to.
Right.
We're going to have a second room be what I'm calling the fabrication room because it's 3D printing, Cricut, we might other cutters and things like that.
Yeah, and a little bit of a break room.
Yeah, and then something of a break room too. And then we have the dying room, which is where the coffin went.
Yes, everybody loved the coffin.
And we have the meeting room, which is where we will hold our meetings, our craft meetings, and invite others to use the space too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has been but we had to work within that layout, even though it's severely hampered. Like if I could do this over somehow, if I could wave a wand, that wall between the waiting room, the first room, the actual store, and the library would be gone.
Yeah.
Keep the fabrication room separate. Keep everything else separate for that matter, because they don't need to be public spaces.
Right.
But yeah, I really think that would have done it. I think that would have been just about perfect. So it's a minor change, admittedly, but it would have made a huge difference in terms of trying to lay all this out. We would have had a lot more room to put stuff, because we're trying to avoid the yarn store feeling crowded. Because if you go into some yarn stores, if you've got any claustrophobia tendencies to you, don't go yarn shopping.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah, it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
But they put up walls and made the space feel smaller than it is. Because
it's 1,100 square feet. It's bigger than our fucking house.
Yeah,
on paper.
I know, exactly.
You wouldn't know that walking around.
And it has more bathrooms. That's not a dumb dish. That's just a fact.
It is. We have the world's smallest full bath. I swear to God.
Too. That was the only question I had about buying this house. But, it has that giant garage.
It's so small, it has to have a pocket door.
Yeah. Because
you can't have a swinging door in it.
Nope.
I think it is literally the size of a burial plot.
Oh, goodness.
And yes, I will use anything other than metric for measurement. You're welcome.
Yeah, you had to do that this weekend. That was one of the things, is being able to do things on the fly. You had to make signs because everything was in millimeters.
Or meters.
And
millimeters and, everything's metric.
Everything was metric, and because some of the suppliers are international and the community that was shopping was not used to seeing those measurements.
Yeah.
So we had to do conversions. You did conversion charts on the spot.
Yeah. It worked out well, though.
Yeah. But and the other thing we did was you and I worked the counter while Elli gave tours to make sure that people saw the rest of the store. Because a lot of people think that it ends at that first room,
which it doesn't. We need to get some more signage to indicate that. We got some signs.
Yes. What do we always say about signs?
To get as many as you think you need and double it.
Yeah.
It's like fucking. I think with firewood it's supposed to be you triple it, but same concept though.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's about all. I mean, honestly, it's been an interesting week. It's been interesting to see how some of that haunter instinct, that haunter knowledge, comes bubbling up at these times.
Yeah.
And in some ways in which that mentality hurt us, because you can't treat this like a haunted house in some ways. So while it's great when we're thrifting and getting free shit and refurbishing stuff to save a crap ton of money, it really sucks when we, have to change the way we build things to try to do what we're supposed to do rather than make it up on the fly.
Yeah.
Just interesting. Well, on that note, everyone, please do take a minute. Follow us at all the places we exist. We're at hauntweekly.com, hauntweekly on Twitter, hauntweekly on Facebook, and youtube.com/hauntweekly. You can also find us wherever your podcasts are distributed. One of the great things about this yarn store we haven't really discussed is that we will soon have a space for live recordings again.
Yes.
We are looking forward to re-engaging those. Once things calm down, probably after the new year, honestly, we're going to start reaching out to people about coming on and doing some more live recordings. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
On that note, everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And we will see you all next week. Probably we'll talk about something else with the damned yarn store. I have no idea. But it's all that's on our brain.
No, we'll do something else.
We'll do something different. But we'll see you then.